Hey guys, welcome back to the Hustlin' Horsepower YouTube channel. My name's Maddy, and this goofball over here is Nick. He had originally planned to go down to North Carolina to sell the trailer, and we decided to make a last-minute trip as a family and go to Darlington Dragway for a nice little 16-car shootout.
So guys, this was completely unplanned. About 8:30 at night, we decided, hey, we still probably have enough time with a little bit of a conviction from some friends down south that wanted us to come out here to this race. So, completely last minute, we jumped in the car, loaded it up, and headed south from New York down to North Carolina to pick up the truck and the trailer, and then made a whole bunch of changes to the car that we go over in this video, and then we shot down to South Carolina another 2.5 hours. So, it was quite the drive, and it was a pretty crazy 16 hours before making it there, but we were able to pull off the win, and MVP got to see Mom and Dad take it home at her very first race. So that was pretty cool. So guys, in this video, it's all about the adventure. In the next video, we'll go over in detail. I'll overlay some data logs and some video, and I'll talk about the suspension changes and the both power management and chassis setup that I made throughout the course of this year to get into a little bit more detail on that. So guys, next race would be February 11th. We're going to be back down in Darlington running on the backside. That's going to be a pretty good payout, pretty good car count, and shortly before we head to Florida for Sick Week. And we got a pretty cool little adventure in store for that one as well. So guys, thank you. We'll see you all soon.
Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow the journey on Facebook, Instagram, all of that stuff.
TikTok, blah, 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 blah.
And we'll have some new merchandise coming out in a short while here. But you can keep an eye out on that website, hustlinghorsepower.com.
Appreciate it, guys.
Oh, isn't that wild looking?
Yeah.
It's not nearly as bad as it was a couple minutes ago. I mean, you could still see perfectly fine. It was just weird.
Miley's first road trip. That tail going. Where are we? Do you know where we're at? There's the bus. Do you want to go outside? Come on. Go, go, go. Go explore and say hi to everybody. Well, we made our first trip down to North Carolina with Miley. I'm getting ready to take her outside, and it's a little chilly. So I've got her all bundled up right now just to help keep her warm. I got to get her head out of the back seat. But the drive went well. Nick drove through the night, and I drove for the last hour or so. And we're here at the shop, and Nick has some changes he wants to make to the car, and then we're going to head out to Darlington Dragway. So we will see. Oh, she sped up. To be continued. Okay, we're back. So, as I was saying, Nick is going to make some changes to the car before we head out to Darlington Dragway. It's going to be beautiful out. The weather's going to be in the 60s. We're going to see some people that we haven't seen in a couple months, or that I haven't seen in a couple months at least. And then Miley's going to have her first experience at the racetrack. So, we're going to get ourselves cleaned up. I'm covered in spit up right now from this morning's feeding, but we'll get ourselves cleaned up and head out to the track. See how today goes.
So guys, we're down here in North Carolina. I drove almost the whole way. Maddy drove the last hour and a half so I could get a little bit of sleep, so I could get some work done on Straight Gangster. But look at these two guys. Smile.
You're gonna have to move your seat so I can get, I need to get my laptop out of there for my suspension calculator and my notes. Okay? Smile. Are you ready to go racing today, babe?
I need a little more nap.
She needs more napping.
That sucker slept almost the whole way. But she's a mama. She's got mom duties. So guys, here we are. Redneck heater, warming up straight gangster. We're gonna head to Darlington, and we're not telling our competitors, but we're gonna use this weekend as a test session. We didn't come down here specifically for the race. The trailer, the big trailer, I believe is gonna be picked up tomorrow, sold tomorrow. So we had to be down here anyways. So it's about an hour and a half ride, and we're gonna go play around and see what happens. Use it as a test session. It's not an overly large buy-in, and if you don't test, you never know what's gonna happen. So we're either gonna go fast, knock the tires off, one of the two. Go fast or knock the tires off, probably, and see what the thing's capable of, I guess. Gates open in about an hour, and we're like 2.5 hours away from the track, but whatever. It is what it is. Mini Mullet over here, he went and fixed the mini bike. Mullet Man, he was just kind of, I don't know.
Working it some more.
Yeah.
Usual stuff.
Wearing out the bearings and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'll do that for you anytime.
Yeah, he tries to jump over like, I don't know, buildings and stuff like that.
Oh, sure.
But whatever. But Mini Mullet over here, he doesn't talk much. I don't know if that cut out or not.
We'll see.
Can he at least smile? He smiles at least. So me and Sleepy are jumping in the toter. Rex, Maddy, and MVP are gonna follow in the Honda because the toter doesn't have a way to tie down the
Baby seat.
Yeah, the baby seat. It's been a long day. But we're gonna see what happens here. We just made a suspension change, and it's just a bunch of arms back there, so we moved them around, and we're gonna see what happens.
Rex, where are we? Where are we? Are we at the racetrack? Oh, did you scare your sister? I think you scared her.
Holes here have to have a hole in it somewhere. So even if we have to, like, I don't know where it is. One of these suckers have, like, there's gotta be a hole in one of these. Maybe in this line here somewhere. I don't feel it. Yeah, but it's spraying. Okay, it's spraying. There's something on this side. Is that a pinhole here?
All right.
You doing a selfie?
Well, I was gonna say that I made it up at the very last second for Nick's test pass. He's making some adjustments on that tool tray.
The tool tray.
Driver's meeting's happening right now. We've got somebody else that's up there for us doing the chip draw. And Miley is sleeping. She's not crying or startled or anything like that so far by the cars, but we've only...
rested so we can get her a picture in the winter circle picture.
She's got to be well rested for the winter circle picture. No, but she hasn't been startled or cried or anything like that so far with the cars.
I'm not sure we're gonna make it there, but the first hit was completely horrible for complete not a shot in the dark. Kind of.
So there you have it.
There you have it.
We'll see who we're running for first round.
Yeah, but we're like way behind. Not necessarily because of us. We're gonna have to get the 9.
What are you doing to that tool tray?
Adjusting it. Making all my fine adjustments.
Mm.
It wants more.
I say the faster you get to that transition, the better off you'll be.
Oh, listen. As soon as I got to that transition, it like wanted to boogie. It started winding up the tire because it didn't have enough power.
Oh, so it wanted. Okay. Everybody else is getting crazy up here.
What are we?
Third pair, right lane, against Matt Coupe.
That's the first time I've ever experienced tire shaking in this car.
I think they said they're gonna run a street tire or street car first, and then
So we were able to get one test pass in. We had to toss new tires on it because we got a pinhole in our other set of tires. So we had to toss a set of tires on the car, do a couple little changes.
There's a pinhole in these ones?
Yeah.
Dang.
You weren't here when we had to get the car out of the trailer.
No.
It moved in the trailer because of the friggin' pinhole in it. So yeah, so we swapped the tires, put that on there. We made a bar change, or I made a bar change this morning that I've been wanting to do on this car for a little while, that I've been contemplating on doing. So I just pulled the trigger and did it. And it seemed pretty decent out there, but it wants more power. So early on, it wadded up the tire a little bit, but it didn't hold the wrinkle as long as I wanted it to, simply because it was a little bit low on power. Out the back, there's this deal here. They scraped the track and like shot peened it, so it's textured concrete to about 300 foot, a little bit before the 330. And as soon as I got to the 330, I could see that because even though we're doing no time, I got the BPS that tells me my approximate pretty close 330 time. So I go in the data log and look at all that stuff. So it actually started wadding up the tire at that transition there because it went from bare concrete where it had a little bit of wheel speed, a decent amount of wheel speed, but there's that threshold in there. I'll step it back. We generally run this car completely dead hooked all the time. Made a bar change to try to see what the car liked, because I felt like we were leaving some on the table in the 60 foot, and I knew we were. And when we get on some different surfaces, running the car completely dead hooked has its downfalls when you get onto a situation where it's bumpy. So this track is nice and smooth, so it allows me to get a pretty good idea of what the car would like for multiple different surfaces. So yeah, as soon as we got onto there, it dead hooked the tire, and it actually wadded up the tire. So that means the tire's folding basically because it doesn't have enough power in it. So it needed a little bit more power at about 300 feet in, but it wasn't horrible. So we're gonna give it a little bit more, see what happens. Yeah. We going to the chip. Hey, Smiley Miley, we're going to the finals.
Just, you're good. Go on.
Hey, Smiley Miley, we're going to the finals. Oh! We're going to the finals. Hey, we're going to the finals. Yeah. You happy? Are you happy? No? You should be. It's like you put me in a car for 11 hours. What? Wah! I could go louder. I'm over it. We did it, Smiley. You're my good luck charm.
Hey.
Woo-hoo.
Hell yeah.
I want that fast lifting.
There's the baby. There's the baby.
Don't she look just like me?
She does.
She's so beautiful.
I'm a sweet baby.
So I was napping, right? And she's
daddy is, but I don't know how the mom is.
yeah, I know, right? Well, we were sleeping the other day, right? And she's sleeping next to me, and I wake up and I got my head like just on my ear, right? Like just sleeping like this, like not laying on my hand, but just like this. And I look over, and there she is laying next to me, exactly the same pose, just like.
There you go.
I was like, what the hell? Like,
Genetic, she can't get rid of it.
that's just weird stuff right there.
Oh, I've been waiting so long